the prospect of a Marvel gaming universe makes a lot of sense. In the last decade, the Marvel Cinematic Universe has established itself as a monolithic presence in the film industry. Marvel found a formula for success, and that is evidenced by the consistent popularity of its movies, and subsequently the Hulk-sized beatdowns DC have taken. Now, in this time period, myself and I'm sure many others have felt that there has been a strange omission from this successful equation. For a franchise that loves producing obscene amounts of merchandise and media, Marvel's noticeable absence in mainstream gaming is stark. Marvel has had myriad opportunities to capitalise on its film successes, create spin-off games or even games that closely follow the movie's source material. Furthermore, if they needed more concrete evidence of the viability of a superhero gaming universe, the success of the Batman Arkham games over a decade ago also tells us that AAA superhero games are pretty damn popular. You even have the more recent launch of Sony's Spider-Man PS4 and the start of a Spider-Man gaming universe in case Marvel needed even more evidence. And then it happened, E3 2019, the reveal of the Marvel Avengers game, set in its own universe with a unique story and 6 playable heroes at launch. Saucy stuff indeed. But what does this mean? And what does the MGU, which sounds like the less attractive friend of the MCU, need to do to assert itself in the gaming world? Launching a game set in a universe where the Avengers have already been established for years could be seen as a lazy attempt at cashing in on a beloved concept. The fact is, the developers could rest on the Avengers name alone and not put in any groundwork to establish the motivations and relationships for forming the team in their universe, and still make an absolute ton of money. However, I don't think that is what they are doing here. The death of Captain America, a beloved mainstream Marvel character, is a statement, to say the least. Coming outright and showing in various press releases that Cap dies 5 years before the main story is a bold move by the developers. At the very least, it draws in some publicity. A lot of people will be outraged at the killing off of a lead character. Whether it actually turns out to be true or not is a different matter entirely. I think this is a very smart decision. The really key thing for establishing a strong foundation is making the audience, the players, care about your new universe you have placed them in. The death of a huge Marvel character, at the very least, shows this is going to be a universe with consequence. Already, the main characters have a common issue they are dealing with, and narrative threads from the onset, such as the Avengers being blamed for the events that led to Captain America's death. Naturally, comparisons will undoubtedly be made to the MCU, but then having defining moments such as Cap's death goes a long way in laying the foundation for a new, distinguished universe with its own story and character arcs. I can count a number of instances in recent memory where I've sat in the cinema, greased in goosebumps as my jaw hits the ground, bearing witness to moments such as Thor summoning Stormbreaker, Captain America wielding Mjolnir, and Drax seamlessly blending into any and every environment. These dopamine-dosed moments of pure adrenaline and excitement are something that Marvel excels in delivering. And after all the furor is worn off, I realise I have trapped myself in a mental freeze frame, reenacting bit by bit these epic moments, of course with myself donning the blonde beautiful hair of Thor. Okay, that sounded a bit too much like fanfiction. Nevertheless, prospect of recreating these sort of epic moments via the gaming medium, the autonomy of ordaining your own attacks, thunder strikes, Hulk smashes and casual Black Widow badassery is pretty damn dope. The developers have a whole playground of potential movesets, character team-ups and customization to explore. An exciting prospect indeed. I should feel like a true Avenger through missions with genuine stakes and combat that provide similar adrenaline surges to the movie's epic action. If the developers can achieve this, then the desire for a true Marvel gaming universe will soar. Sony's Spider-Man for the first time since Spider-Man 2 provided an authentic Spider-Man gaming experience. The web slinging was crisp, combat fluid, and the story emotive and unique to its film contemporaries. The Avengers game has a similar opportunity to deliver an authentic superhero experience on a level that could even surpass Spider-Man, but it must be careful not to turn into a supervillain size level of disappointment. Looking to the future may seem a bit premature, given the Avengers game still has yet to be released. But If I was a betting man, I'd be going all in on the Marvel gaming universe becoming a juggernaut of the next generation of consoles. Gaming companies such as Square Enix are spoiled with the abundance of treasures in Marvel lore, characters, and opportunities that a MGU could explore. But unlike the MCU, a potential Marvel gaming universe must not be afraid to experiment, for the same tried and tested Marvel Cinematic Universe formula will not yield the same results for a gaming universe. The Avengers game already has both a single player campaign and co-op missions, which looks like a positive start, but there are so many opportunities to diversify potential Marvel video games. Imagine, for example, a Daredevil single player game, focused on stealth, gritty melee combat, and a linear story. Did I just describe an Arkham-style light game? Perhaps. What about a superhero RPG? Something that has boundless opportunity, creating your own hero from a few preset backstories, choosing the types of powers you could then eventually wield, and having an open world canvas to create your own gaming comic book of adventures. Sounds good to me. Taking inspiration from other genres and games such as RPGs like The Witcher, Skyrim, and character-driven tales like Uncharted, whilst wrapped in a superhero's cosmetic, sounds also exciting to me. Look, I could spend a whole video talking about my ideas for superhero games. Let me know down in the comments if you want to see that, by the way. Point being, a Marvel gaming universe should not rest on name alone. There are too many opportunities for fantastic superhero, or even supervillain, leading games, for a Marvel gaming universe to follow the same formulaic pattern as the movies. I know we are discussing the prospect of a Marvel gaming universe, but let's be real, it's going to happen, some way or another. I'm excited, anxious, and intrigued by the emergence of the Marvel gaming universe. The opportunities for different stories, diverse combat, and engaging worlds is genuinely unlimited. With its existence comes the awareness that my expectations need to be checked regularly. Not every decision made in every potential game and subsequent story told will appeal to me personally. Nevertheless, I'm encouraged by the fact that those undertaking this mammoth project have an incredible tapestry of content to work with, and at the very least, we'll get to do some cool superhero stuffs. Thank you everyone once again for tuning in to this week's edition of The Gaming Conversation. I want to continue the conversation in the comment section by asking, are you going to buy Marvel's Avengers? And if so, which character are you maining? For me, even though I cannot pronounce his name for the life of me, Thor is my guy. And for more weekly discussions, critiques, and opinions from me, Michael JH, consider subscribing. And hey, if you found the video even somewhat useful, maybe consider giving it a thumbs up, if you want. This has been The Gaming Conversation. I have been Michael JH, and at times, a salivating superhero nerd. Peace.